Hello people, Tony here and welcome back to TTBurger Game Reviews. Hope you all are having a happy Thanksgiving and a great last full week of November. And we are continuing with my WipEout franchise review. We're on the last part of my WipEout franchise review. This is episode 159, part 4 of 4, as we dive into the PlayStation 2 era of WipEout. We have a lot to talk about here for the final part, but before we get started, those of you who missed what happened in episode 159, part 3 of 4, maybe this will help you all. I call it a TTBurger recap. Show you all what you missed. As I took a look at WipEout 3 for the PlayStation 1, gave it a 9.5 out of 10 because I felt like it improved a lot over the first two WipEout games. It was definitely worth owning in the collection because it just added tons of more content to the game. It had a great sense of speed to it, and it was just definitely worth owning in your collection of racing games and WipEout games in general. But now we're gonna zoom ahead to the year 2001 as we take a look at the first WipEout game released for the next-gen console at the time, the PlayStation 2. We got it right here. This is WipEout Fusion, by this time BAM Hit Entertainment, released in the year 2001, exclusively to the PlayStation 2. Now, when I got WipEout Fusion, I was expecting this, since this was a next-gen game, you expect that they are going to improve on the games from the last gen versions of the series and improve it here and make them even better. But unfortunately for WipEout Fusion, that's not the case here, because WipEout Fusion is just a step backwards in many ways that ends up being totally different and not as fun as the other three WipEout games made by Psygnosis. And there are quite a bit of problems here, and some new problems here that weren't in any of the other games. And we got a lot to talk about here, so let's get started. This time we have a small story which talks about this racing championship going on and stuff like the WipEout Fusion Racing Championship going on, and basically what the manual is basically all it says there. Just basically like the racers trying to win and just go into first and stuff. That's basically what it is. And I can't say anything about the story because it's a racing game. I expected the story to not be that deep, so that's what it is there. But getting back on track here. For the game's presentation though, the game's graphics, they do look good. They take advantage of the PlayStation 2's hardware at the time because it was a launch game. But the way the style of the graphics look, it just doesn't really feel like WipEout. It feels more like the F-Zero or like Jet Mode or something like that. Where the graphics, it feels more like F-Zero or something like that, or Jet Mode, or like the way the tracks look and everything like that. Just the way they look. They don't have that WipEout feel to it. They have more feel like a F-Zero Ridge Racer feel to it as well, and that's just what it is. I mean, like, sure, the vehicles look nice, everything, and the backgrounds do look creative, but it's just that the style and everything like that. It's just like it's sense of speed and style that just don't feel like WipEout to me. WipEout's supposed to be fast, and it just feels like it's a snail's pace. But I'm gonna talk about a little more of that later on. The opening cutscene does look great. I mean, it does take advantage of the PlayStation 2's hardware, and it looks nice. But graphics aren't the main part of the game, though. For sound, there's not really much to say about the sound except for like that the voice actor like announcer and the music, which I turned the music off this time because of once again because of copyright and stuff like that. But for what I have played, the music is good. So just there's a soundtrack on YouTube. I'm sure you can check out for the music. That's pretty much all I gotta say about the sound here, but now let's talk about the gameplay. This is where WipEout Fusion suffers the most. First off, one of the first problems you have is that there's no sense of speed here at all. I mean, when you play the other WipEout games, you would go very fast, and there was a good sense of speed to it. Here, there's no speed at all. It's just a snail's pace. Like stuff slows you down each time. You get stuck a lot and stuff slows you down like almost all the time. And it pretty much just gets you stuck a lot, and there's no restart race option either, so it just either retire or start from the beginning or so, and you'd think for the next gen console, you think that they would bring that back, but no, that's not the case here at all. And once again, I'm playing as the Phasar team because they're like the most balanced team, and they got like some new teams too, like Piranha Team and more, that you can unlock when you beat the cups and everything. But still, you're not going to want to play this game for a long time because of all the problems it has. And also, the opponent AI is overly aggressive for no reason whatsoever. They'll always hit you with their missiles or the rockets. They'll never miss at all. and it slows you down to a snail's pace, and it costs you first place a lot. No matter who you are, this will happen to no matter what racer you are. And if it's like a pile up, and you hit other racers that are like stuck on the road from being like hit or so, it stops you, and you keep slowing down, and it keeps slowing you down over and over, never noise whatsoever. It just keeps doing that. It's sorry, I got a little irritated, but just, you know how frustrating it is here. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, but there are some goods here about WipEout Fusion. Is that's like, you have some cool ass power ups like Quake, which can like cause a little quake on the racetrack and just like knock all the people back. Or you got some homing missiles and some pulse bombs and more. And it does have some set stuff with the weapons there. But when you're playing this game, though, you can't help but this doesn't feel like WipEout. I mean, the other 3 WipEout games felt like WipEout. Sure, they had their problems, but they still felt like fast, futuristic racing games. Sure, this is a futuristic racer, but there's no sense of speed to it. Even when you have your turbo power, it doesn't work. It doesn't work much because there's no sense of speed here. And also, the frame rate doesn't really hold up the greatest either. I mean, it does slow down when it actually gets pretty hot too. So, just the frame rate just doesn't really hold up well either. And this was a big shock to me because I know this was not made by Psygnosis. Bam Entertainment made this game, but I was expecting this game, since it was a next gen console. I was expecting this game to be just as good as the other ones, just as good as WipEout 3. But unfortunately, that was not the case here at all because it has way too many problems. You keep getting stuck all over the place. If you get hit, it stops you and stuff. And I forgot to mention too, it's easy for you to die in the races. Like your shield only goes up to like 60 or so, and when you hit the wall or so like that, you lose health. You take damage, and it's very easy to take damage, and I don't know why. I mean, sure, like you took damage in WipEout 3, but it wasn't this much of a pain in the neck or so. I mean, sure, like you got damage when someone hit you or so, but when you hit the wall each time in this game, you lose health. I mean, it's just so pain in the neck. I mean, I only did the first cup or so of the AG League, also the arcade mode too and stuff, which is very similar. But then again, this game is just very, very disappointing. It pretty much started this is when the WipEout series started going downhill. Even WipEout HD couldn't really save the WipEout franchise because we had like WipEout Pure and stuff after that. But just like, this was the start of like when WipEout started to like lose its charm, lose its sense of speed, and just WipEout Fusion was disappointing for me. I mean, it's not the worst game ever, but it's not the best game ever. I'm going to be taking quite a bit of points off here for this because these problems should not have been in a next-gen sequel of a game franchise that was known for fast speed. I mean, it just doesn't feel like it. I mean, it just feels like they kind of focus mainly more on the weapons and the graphics and sound than the speed and everything else about the gameplay. So, the slogan is faster, tougher, bigger, better. Yeah, it's tougher, alright. It's tougher and bigger, but it's tougher for the wrong reasons and bigger just because, like, oh, the races are a little bit longer and stuff. That's pretty much what it is there. And I just gotta say that WipEout Fusion is just not our answer to the next gen WipEout games. If you want WipEout, play the 3 on the PlayStation, but avoid this game at all costs. Even WipEout HD wasn't even worth it either. WipEout the Mix wasn't that great either. So, just saying there. My final thoughts here are, if you want some more WipEout, then I consider it in a rental or consider buying it for a cheap price. But those of you who are looking forward to this will be disappointed and stuff like that if you like WipEout 3. Just saying that. Due to the complaints I have with WipEout Fusion here, a 5.5 is the best score I can give it because more could have been done with this game. I mean, it's just a shame that WipEout Fusion here is the way it is, because if you saw how good WipEout 3 was, you expected them to improve on it. But since Psygnosis was not a part of this, I guess that's what it is. And Bam Entertainment tried, I guess, but still, it's not worth it because like, unless you're one of those crazy racing fans who have to have WipEout in your PS2 and stuff, then I gotta say go check it out. But that's pretty much what it is there. So if you want WipEout action, just pick up WipEout 3 or WipEout XL or the original WipEout in the long box and stuff. Which is all I gotta say here. And we're on episode 160 for the next episode. What will come up there? Well, you have to find out because I can't tell you yet because one, I don't want to spoil it. So that's what will happen there. But What, episode 160? What will happen? Find out. That's all I gotta say. Alright everyone, if you like what you see or subscribe, like the video, comment down below, and join my Discord group, TTBurger Gamers United, because looking for more people to join all the time. And a link in the description below, it's a permanent link, so click on it if you want to join. You don't have to worry about it going away after 24 hours. So, which all I gotta say is Tony, peace out, have a great day, and see you all in episode 160, part 1 of whatever part I may make. Which all I gotta say, peace out everyone.